Dragon Age Origins Awakening was rated M for mature by the ESRB and contains blood, intense violence, language, partial nudity, and sexual content. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone, my name is Amaronith and I play games for the internet, and today we're playing Dragon Age Origins Awakening. Last time we finished off most of the side quests, if not all of the ones that we could do. And so I figure it's time for another Codex readings before we begin the end. So we start with Creatures, Article 7, Blighted Werewolf. When a man in West Hill told me about his encounter with a blighted werewolf, I was inclined to believe him. Although werewolves may be abominations of a sort, wolves possessed by rage demons, or so the story goes, it is true that their bodies still live. The blight is known to corrupt bears and wolves in addition to humans, elves, and dwarves, so it is conceivable that any living creature, even a werewolf, is at risk. The man saw the beast ambush a bear, springing from the shadows with such speed that it seemed a blur. The bear was dead within seconds. I thank the Maker that I have never seen a run-of-the-mill werewolf. I have never even seen a run-of-the-mill werewolf. I am sure I never want to encounter one that is blighted. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Genetivi. Article 37, Tears in the Veil. Studies of the Veil have never been thorough. The Teventers once theorized that the Veil is thin in places that have seen great bloodshed. As the Chantry is so fond of reminding us, the Magisters of the Imperium only once crossed physically into the Fade, the catastrophe that blackened the Golden City. As the story goes, the ritual consumed a vast quantity of lyrium and the blood of 100 slaves. But was it the deaths that bridged the worlds, or simply the blood of the lyrium? Or both? Demons seize every opportunity, every tear in the veil to enter our world. Once the veil is torn, it is extremely difficult to mend, some say impossible. From the Lectures of the First Enchanter Wenceslas. Article 39, Wisp. A great deal is made of the most powerful demons, those that create abominations and those that have changed the history of Thedas. It is often forgotten that not all demons are such awe-inspiring beings. Some that break through the cracks in the veil into our world are known as wisps, a sliver of a thought that once was. A wisp is a demon that has lost its power. Either it has existed in our world for too long without finding a true host, or it has been destroyed, often, so we've found, by other demons. What remains of its mind clings tightly to the one concept that created it, a hatred of all living things. While its ability to target a living creature is limited, these wisps often mindlessly attack when encountered in the Fade. In the living world, they often have been known to maliciously lure the living into dangerous areas, being mistaken for lanterns or other civilized light sources. This does, however, seem to be the very limit of their cunning. From the journal of former senior enchanter Malleus, who, once of the Circle of Vervain, declared apostate in 920 Dragon Age. Culture and History. Article 166, The Blackmarsh. The Blackmarsh is a dreary place, so damp you can feel the chill in your bones. Leave your clothes out to dry for a week, and they'll still be cold and wet when you put them on. I called Martin daft when he suggested we move there. An awful place, he said, but also a place where one can make a great deal of money collecting peat. By the Maker's soggy underclothes, he was right. From the Journal of Vera, a seamstress. Article 189. Characters. Article 189. Oghren. Now let's go introduce some darkspawn arses to my foot. Only polite thing to do. Oghren was once married to Branka, Orzamar's sole living paragon, but she left him to search for the Anvil of the Void. Oghren took to drink, then accidentally killed another warrior in a drunken proving match. For this mistake, Oghren was stripped of his house and barred from bearing weapons. For a warrior, worse than exile. When the Grey Wardens called for aid from the dwarves, Orzamar's throne was contested, and only a paragon could settle the dispute. Oghren, hoping to find his wife, offered to guide the party through the deep roads. But Branka's obsession with the anvil of the void had driven her mad. The Wardens helped choose a new king, and Oghren, having lost everything, left with the Wardens. When the blight ended, Oghren settled down with his old flame Felsi and had a child. But domestic bliss did not last, and so Oghren traveled to Vigil's Keep in hope of becoming a warden himself. Oghren survived the joining. His extensive experience drinking bitter swill likely helped. Felsi arrived at Vigil's Keep demanding to see Oghren. Their conversation ended poorly. Oghren confided in the warden commander. He admitted to feeling guilt over abandoning his child and resolved to be a better father. Oghren's passion for strong drink hasn't waned. Article 197. Justice. I have no name, only a virtue to which I aspire. A spirit of justice fought on behalf of the villagers that the Baroness trapped in the Fade. When the warden commander escaped through a tear in the veil, justice was dragged along and deposited in the corpse of the Grey Warden Kristoff. The Baroness's defeat left justice trapped in the mortal world. Believing Kristoff's mission to be worthy, he agreed to travel with the warden commander. Kristoff's wife Aura arrived at Vigil's Keep. Upon realizing what had become of her husband, she accused Justice of desecrating Kristoff's body. This distressed Justice, who insisted on finding a way to ease Aura's pain. Justice visited Aura again later, promising to avenge her husband's death. This pact gave both a measure of peace. Justice likes tokens that remind him of the Fade, as well as items that provide insight into Kristoff's life. And books and songs. Article 235. Records of the Blackmarsh. Some years ago, a dragon rampaged through the countryside, gorging herself on animals and people. Before long, she nested near the village of Blackmarsh. Fearing she would drag off villagers to feed her young, we sent men to drive the beast away. The men were never seen again. The new Baroness had till then done little for her people, but she emerged from her manor and told us not to worry. Oh, pardon me. She had been sent from Morlaix, not just to rule, but to protect. She promised the dragon would be gone by sundown the next day. She set off in the morning, alone. We were certain she'd gone insane. What chance had one woman against a dragon? At sundown there came a loud clap, like thunder, so great it shook the earth. Then our Baroness returned to us, triumphant, and of the dragon there was no sign. The Baroness, no longer aloof, sang and danced with the lowest of us. There were dark whispers that the Baroness was a witch, but we did not care. Her magic had saved us, and for that we loved her. From the records of the village of Blackmarsh. Article 251. The Baroness's Secret. The veil is weak near the stone circle. Perhaps it's my rituals, but I suspect it's always been weak here. I feel traces of old, ancient magic. Maybe this is what drew me. I think the girls feel it too. As we approached the circle, they sensed something was wrong. With me? Did they fear me? Something about this place is changing them, claiming them for its own. It is conceivable that using their blood to reinvigorate me traps their souls in the Fade. Perhaps they become the same demons, ghosts, spirits who invade my dreams. No, it doesn't matter. They are nothing. Peasants, while I'm a Baroness of Olay. From the Journal of the Baroness of Blackmarsh. I always thought it was really curious that when you heard the Baroness talk, she didn't sound Orlesian. She sounded like she was Transylvanian or an escapee from Barovia. Well, maybe not Transylvanian. Closer to Barovia, which is like fake Transylvania. But on that note, that is all for this Codex reading. Short, sweet, to the point. And I hope to see you next time, where we, I believe, begin the end of the Awakening DLC. But until then, take care. Bye-bye.